Ghislaine Maxwell, she's talking with Todd Blanche about Little St. James and the Zorro Ranch, about Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Larry Summers. For too many big wheels, it could be a summer of bummers. Oh, but trafficking in children is a federal crime, especially if you lure them over a state line. Ghislaine was convicted and sentenced to some serious time, with Epstein and Father Robert still alive in her mind. Judge Nathan was elevated, so she gave the case away. Now we want to see what Judge Engelmayer will say. If proffer talks, it may be superseded. Ghislaine's 100 names might just be what's needed, but trafficking in children is a federal crime, especially if you lure them over a state line. Ghislaine was convicted and sentenced to some serious time, with Epstein and Father Robert still alive in her mind.
Okay, here we are. Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Wednesday, July 24th, 2025. Of course, the story that ate all other stories, the Epstein files. Yesterday, on the beat here. Now, Judge Engelmayer, to whom Ghislaine Maxwell's case was reassigned from Judge Nathan, Judge Engelmayer denied Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer's request to see the grand jury transcripts, even though it was backed up by Todd Blanche, who may be meeting with her today, as early as today, or today, down in jail in Florida. It's really something. Judge Engelmayer said, no, it's black letter law that defendants don't get to see their grand jury transcripts and nothing's been shown. It was kind of a bold move, but there was a bolder move coming right after that, in which the judge who now has the apparently dormant until now Jeffrey Epstein federal case in Florida denied outright the request to unseal the transcripts. That may be under 11th Circuit law. We'll have to see what they do about it. But it may be all superseded. As many have said, the grand jury transcripts are going to be much more limited than the sort of whatever it is that the FBI collected over the years. Whatever led up. I would say this. Here would be interesting. After the outcry, Jeffrey Epstein got a sweetheart deal, 2008, whatever it was in Florida. Then there was kind of, he was some sort of stigmatized, but he's still hanging around. Something happened, and they decided to be looking into him. That's what led to his arrest at Teterboro Airport and transmission to the MCC. Now, that investigation must have generated a whole bunch of documents. They ultimately ended up going with the case against Ghislaine Maxwell of only 3 or 4 victims. How they would have done the Epstein trial, I don't know. I'm sure it would have been much less than what they had. That's why we called it the narrow prosecution. But the files of that is what needs to be released. And honestly, it should be. It should be. It's these stories saying, for example, that Trump's in them. We've seen the pictures. He was hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein. They were joking together, pointing at people in some room long ago. But I'm sure there's a lot of other people in them. So it seems like the only out here is the full release of those files. I don't see what other out there is. In any case, we're staying on the legal front of it. Judges Berman and Engelmayer have requested various briefing schedules, including victim filings by August 5th. So this is going to go deep into August. August 11th, supposedly, Ghislaine Maxwell is to be deposed or testify to the House. I don't know. There was a vote. Summer Lee made the motion. Nancy Mace and others joined it. Anyway, enough is enough.